Threat neutralized.
Yep, it's Black Ops 2, or rather the question is, how is Black Ops 2 doing in 2021? Very much welcome, this is Splish, and we're going to talk about Black Ops 2, a game that has meant a lot for a lot of people when it comes to the franchise of Call of Duty, myself included. And the reason why for me is because this is the game where I started to play on PC instead of console. So that was the thing, but I had a kind of time where I got adjusted by playing actually with a controller on PC, which of course you can imagine it kind of gives you not an advantage, I would say. It's rather the opposite around, since you don't have aim assist and stuff like that. But I did practice a lot and I became pretty darn good at it. But then I needed to take the step finally, which I don't regret, meaning grinding the keyboard and mouse. It took weeks before I actually felt that it was, you know, I was doing well and stuff like that. But again, it was definitely worth it. So there you got my special kind of reason talking about Black Ops 2 and why it was special for me. Of course, it has to do with the game overall as well. I think it was a very good Call of Duty game in many ways. Let me know what you think and what it meant to you. Maybe you have some special memories you want to share in the comment section. Feel free to do so. That's why I'm doing these videos as well. It's kind of cool to see that this was definitely a game that took off quite early. It had great numbers. I think it was a commercial success to say the least, since within 24 hours of going on sale, the game grossed over $500 million. That's something, $500 million. And I think therefore it had remained the largest entertainment launch of all until September 2013, when Take-Two Interactive announced that Grand Theft Auto 5 had grossed over 800 million in its first day of release. But nevertheless, it was a huge success, and it was a game that a lot of people within the community was happy about. And the question also, of course, in this video is, are people still playing the game? The answer is yes, but I'm going to be straight honest with you. I had some problems to find some matches here and there, to be honest. I'm not really sure. Well, I do know why. For example, when I did the video regarding the first Black Ops, which you might want to check out later, there's a playlist and stuff like that, then it was easy because there was a server browser on PC, so I could easily find the game. But here it's the normal kind of matchmaking. You just search for a game, and I went for team deathmatch because that's mainly what people are still playing. But it took time, and I wasn't really sure when I was recording that I would get into match. But yeah, there's still an audience. I'm not sure how it is on console, but yeah, I could find games, and again, I just had to wait a bit longer than compared to the first Black Ops game. Black Ops 2 also received, well, in general, positive reviews from critics, praising the gameplay, the story as well, when talking about the campaign, which I still think about sometimes now and then, which is a good one. The multiplayer, as we're talking mainly about here, and also the zombie mode, which is still insanely popular. It has been doing really well, and that's kind of cool. And I know that they, of course, started to develop this game straight after the release of Black Ops, since Activision promised that the follow-up would bring some, you know, new stuff, some innovation into the next upcoming game, which is Black Ops 2 then in the series. Because Black Ops 2 actually became the first game in the series to feature some futuristic warfare technology, and also the first to present branching storylines, which driven by player choice as well as selecting weapons before starting story mode missions. So I didn't really know about this. This is something I found when I was checking it out on Wikipedia. I think this is so nice, you know, all these years after you start to learn more about the game than you actually knew when you were playing it back then. But on the other hand, it's, you know, consumer value, and of course also entertainment value that you're interested in, not so much the fact, but there you go. If you might have missed it, the game was released in 2012. And it was released for PC, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and this was in November 2012. And also for the Wii U, by the way, in November 18 in North America, and then later on in PAL regions. I didn't know that it was actually... Yeah, now I remember. I actually tried it once on the Wii U, which was kind of interesting. If we have anyone watching this video and have been playing Black Ops 2 on the Wii U, please let me know in the comment section. The campaign, though, well, it follows up the story, of course, of the first Black Ops. This time around, it's set in the late 1980s and also 2025. In the 80s, the player switches control between two characters, Alex Mason and Frank Woods. which is two of the protagonists from Black Ops. While in 2025, the player assumes control of Manson's son, David. He has a code name, by the way, which is Section. And to make it even more confusing going back and forth in time here, both time periods involve the characters pursuing Raul Menendez, which is a Nicaraguan cartel leader, and he is responsible for kidnapping Woods in the 80s and later sparking a second Cold War in 2025. Back to the multiplayer again, and one of the biggest changes they added to the multiplayer mode in Black Ops 2 is something called Pick 10. Now this was a new system within the creative class menu, so Pick 10 in this case gives the player a total of 10 allocation slots in a class which are used for guns, perks and grenades. So the player could customize or can customize the slot allocation to either have more attachments for a gun or more perks. I think this is kind of cool. This was something I remember that I really liked, because then you can put some more emphasis on the things that you really, well, that you benefit from when it comes to your playstyle or a certain weapon that maybe needs more, you know, boost. They also changed kill streaks from being just kill streaks into score streaks instead. And here they are earned by gaining points rather than kills, which allows the player to focus on objective modes, which also earns points towards score streaks. And I think this was a good move by Treyarch and Activision, even though there might be even more to be done when it comes to actually making people playing the objective. It's also interesting when you look into the progression system regarding weapons, which is a thing, because after maxing out a weapon here in Black Ops 2, reaching like the max level, the player can choose to prestige the gun. Black Ops 2 was also the first Call of Duty game to include a competitive mode known as League Play. This mode allows players of similar skill level to be matched together and play according to the rules of MLG. Well, that was back in the days, dear old MLG. So by saying all this, I have to say that there was more changes to this game that I can remember, or things that happened, you might say, behind the whole game development. New decisions that were made by Treyarch and Activision in this case that led to a kind of development of the whole series, I would say, as a whole. And it's also fresh to go back in 2021 and just to feel and see that the game is still a good game. It has a lot of iconic maps, and I think I'm right when I say that there might be one or two that are coming later also into Black Ops Cold War. I think Standoff is one of the maps that will show up later. This is kind of cool. It also shows again that there was good stuff being made back in the days, and it's also sweet to look back in the rear mirror and go back and play these old games. Let me know if you do that as well now and then. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. That helps me out as a content creator. And if you want to follow up more what I'm doing on my channel, don't hesitate to subscribe, and I'll see you soon again. I wish you a great day, good gaming, and be careful out there.
That's a kill.
Be advised, hostile UAV incoming. We've taken the lead.
Dropped him!